Holy shit. That was 4 million right there. That was 4 million. Pretty sure that was a 4 million bone spirit. Hi everyone, I'm bringing you guys another Necromancer build here for Diablo 4. You guys seem to have liked the first one, the Bone Spear build. Now we're going to do a little bit of a variant, which is the build that I've been playing a part of the day today, and it's been doing amazing. It's a little bit... I mean, it's not necessarily more gear required because we're going to swap a unique for another one, but it is a very cool and unique playstyle. This is going to be using Bone Spear and Bone Spirit as its main source of damage. It is, in my opinion, more fun to play because it has a very cool combo that you can do that's super fun. It is more tanky because you're going to be having access to more Fortify, so that's going to be super fun. So we're going to do the same setup as we did in the last video, which is I'm going to go over the gear. I'm going to go over the talent. I'm going to go over real quick the Paragon board. And then... we're pretty much going to clear a quick little dungeon. So I picked a Nightmare Dungeon level tier 50 this time, just so we can run it nice and sweet. And I might die, who knows, 50 kind of hurts still, but I should be a little bit more tanky, which is going to be quite fun. So we're going to go over the gear real quick, and I'm going to show you what's going on, and then we're going to go over all of the abilities here. So first of all, you know what? Let's start with the abilities, just so I can explain the gear part a little bit better later on. So we're going to go with Reap here, and we're going to go for the upgrade with Reap just so we can guarantee generate a corpse. You're never going to really use this as a generator. I mean, you might end up using it once or twice on big bosses if they don't immediately get global. It could be possible. It's like your failsafe. Or if you're doing a world boss, for example, and there's not enough corpse being generated and you don't have enough resource that's flowing through, you can hit it once or twice, right? But ideally, you don't want to spam this to generate resources. That's not going to be the playstyle. It is only there to generate a corpse, so that's going to be pretty important. Imperfectly balanced, unliving energy, those are going to be maxed out. We're still going to max out Bone Spear here, so we still have 5 points here compared to the other build. Same thing. Plus 3 from my gear, and then we're going to go with the Paranormal here. We're going to get the Hued Flesh, because we're going to need some extra corpse. We're still going to go with Corpse Explosion, but this time compared to the previous build, I was still using Blighted Corpse, but in the video I wasn't. I was still debating between the two, and I definitely preferred Blighted Corpse because Blighted Corpse is going to allow us to trigger a little bit more Hued Flesh. It's going to trigger some Lucky Hit, so that's going to be really, really good. It's going to help out a lot. That's going to be super fun. We're still going to have Blood Mist, super safe, super fun, and it's even going to be part of a little combo if you feel like a little bit of risk and reward. Grim Harvest here is going to allow you to generate a lot of essences from corpse, and then Fueled by Death is going to give you increased damage whenever you blow those corpse up. Then we're going to go Death Embrace. I only have 2 points here. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want the points, but for now, that's how I got them. I had to sacrifice 1 point here to allocate it elsewhere, so we got 2 points in Death Embrace. I got 3 here from my gear, so this is not points that you're going to allocate. These are just from my necklace. Which is kind of useless right now. I need to find a better necklace because we're going to be in melee all the time, so the distant damage isn't giving me much here. Corpse Tendril, I only put 1 point in here, but I got extremely lucky and got a pair of boots that are giving me +4, so this is really, really good. And then we're going to go all the way here to generate some Blood Orb. So this is going to be a massive part of the build because we're going to be using the Chess unique that spawns a Bone Spirit automatically after consuming 5 Blood Orbs. So this is going to be super useful. I then was able to allocate 3 points into Bone Spirit, so I wasn't able to allocate more right now with the current setup. I'm using Enhanced Bone, and I'm using Dreadful Bone Spirit. So this is going to be really cool, because every time we consume some Blood Orb, every time we Corpse Tendril a large amount of mobs, a bunch of Blood Orbs are going to spawn up. You collect them real quick, and then you're going to throw Bone Spirits that are going to pretty much give you free extra damage at no resources cost, and are going to start giving you essences per second. So this is going to be kind of insane. So that way you're going to be able to spam Bone Spear even more, and your essence is going to keep going up if you keep collecting the Blood Orb. So it's just a crazy fuel machine that just never stops. As long as there's monster density and you're exploding corpse and using Corpse Tendril and you're collecting the Blood Orbs and Bone Spirits are coming out, your essences is going to be top. It's going to be super fun. Here we're going with 333. We don't have enough point to get Rapid Acidification here. Not too much needed. It's only like mostly to reduce the cooldown of Bone Storm, which we're still getting because it provides us with really nice critical strike and damage reduction. And then we're going to go for Ossified Essence because that's going to give us a lot of free damage. Cool. So before we move to the Paragon board, I'm going to go over the gear real quick so we can talk about that. So right now I have the armor, the Disobedience, which is really good. I got a not too good version. I think I got a 45 somewhere. I haven't been able to find a 50 again because I wasted one while leveling. So we just got to go for the 40 here, but get the highest that you can. The armor here is going to be massive as always. I got life, cooldown reduction, damage when picking Blood Orb, pretty cool, and max essence. So that's really, really good. I'm going to get more damage on my Bone Spirit. Over here, we got the Blood Artisan. So this is the one of the main piece so that we're going to be using. So in the previous build, we were playing pure Bone Spear, which I was using the Bone Spear Legendary. We cannot have both because I need to have the armor. If you don't have the armor, you're just gonna flop over. You're gonna die. It's not gonna be fun. If you want to play risky and you just want to speed run, feel free to equip the Deathless Face or something like that. I don't remember the name exactly, but feel free to equip that unique for the Echo after the Bone Spear. But for this build, I'm not using it. I just want to be tanky. I want to make sure I don't die. This is going to be the main piece here. The Blood Artisan Cuirass. So pretty much when you pick up 5 Blood Orbs, you get a free Bone Spirit that is spawn and deal bonus damage based on your current life. So that's going to be really, really good. I was lucky enough to get a 5 orb. So this is going to be the only really important part that you're going to need. This is going to be the tough part. If you get it at too high Blood Orb, it's not going to be really fun. So if you have like 8, 9, 10, I probably wouldn't do this build. If you have 5, 6, 7, you're going to be good to go. Even 7 should be fine. 5, if you get a 5-1, you're in business. You're good to go. This is going to slap. This is going to be super fun. So really, really cool, unique. For our gloves here, we got Bone Spear damage. We got a critical strike chance, attack speed, intellect. Obviously, any of these variety of stats, anything that gives you damage, critical strike, skills to anything you're using is going to be good. The Bone Spear on the glove is pretty much the only thing you can get here. And then we got the Corpse Tendril giving you critical strike chance here. The Grasping Vein, critical strike chance, critical strike increased damage. That's going to be insane because what's going to happen is all the monster are going to get pulled by the Corpse Tendril. They're all going to be sucked in, and then it's going to spawn a bunch of orbs, which you're then going to consume, and then everything is going to be just ready to get crit and decimated. Super fun. Temerity, just really, really nice. It just works really, really well with this build. We're just going to get a constant barrier, walking around and just having a good time. There's better alternative. If you get like perfect rolled legs, you can get some really, really nice stuff. But I like these. I got these. They work well for me. They're not needed for the build, but it's really nice. So when you consume potion, for example, you get a free barrier that's equal to the amount of the potion you got. So you can get some really nice barrier here for free, which is nice. The boots, these are absolutely amazing. The perfect pair of boots does not exist, except this one. I had the other pair of boots in the other video, the unique that was giving me movement speed, which was really neat. But these boots for this build are just perfect. Not only do I get 3 evade charges, I get a lot of movement speed when killing elites, which is fun. Plus 3 skill to Bone Spirit, plus 4 to Corpse Tendril, and I was able to roll, after a lot of gold, some movement speed on there. So kind of insane. And then we decided to add Blood Mist Trigger Corpse Explosion. And this is where it gets really, really fun, okay? I'm going to jump a little bit ahead here, and I'm going to talk to you about the neck power that we're using. Consuming a corpse has 45% chance to spawn a Blood Orb. So every time that we Tendril, every time that we Corpse Explosion, every time that we do any of those corpse-consuming skills, there's going to be pretty much roughly a 50% chance that we spawn a Blood Orb. So this is going to allow us to spawn even more Bone Spirit. The really, really cool part here is because now Blood Mist consumes corpse with Corpse Explosion. If, as you're using it as a defensive, let's say you get in a really, really weird, awkward spot where you're getting stunned, you're getting CC'd, and it's not going well, you can pop Blood Mist, and instead of being completely useless, you can just start circling around, getting Corpse Explosion, generating Blood Orb, which is then going to unleash free Bone Spirit. So as you're using a defensive, you're literally going to be murdering the entire battlefield. So if you can line a Corpse Tendril right before the Blood Mist, you'll be in good shape. Everything is going to explode. It's going to be amazing. I'm using the same weapon that I was using in the Bone Spear build. So this is just a really good weapon. Critical strike damage, vulnerable, core, critical strike damage with Bone Skill, and then the Bone Spear Lego. I'm still trying to dish out damage with Bone Spear because that's still going to be my main clearing power source here. Again, for the necklace, we got the Consume for the Blood Orb, so that's going to be really good. I got some Bone Skill in there, Death Reach, which is completely useless. I would probably prefer to roll that, but I cannot roll it off. I got some cooldown reduction, damage reduction from close enemy. Not too bad. I got my rings here with Ossified Essence Key. So if you want Bone Spirit to do more damage, you could swap this legendary with this one here. But I still like Bone Spear to be my top damage in this build. I feel like Bone Spirit is just like an additional really, really cool thing. Yeah, we're gonna have this here. Ossified Essence, and then some Critical Strike, Vulnerable, Max Life, Bone Skill, anything you want on there. My other ring is gonna be Umbral. Every time you CC something, you're gonna get some primary resources. So every time you do that Corpse Tendril, all the monsters that are getting pulled are gonna get CC'd, which is gonna give you pretty much full essences if you have a lot of them. Another cool aspect that could be used, I think I have a copy, would be this one here. I haven't tested this one yet, but this could actually be low-key kind of insane because it's 20 essence per blood orb. That could be pretty good. So I might even end up replacing my Umbral with this. I'll have to test it out. I'm just really... I don't want to lose the Umbral. You know, it's pretty rare, so we'll test it out. It could be really, really fun. So either one or the other, or anything that's going to help you increase your generation of... This is what I have. Obviously, there's another one, which is the Critical Strike Essence. Hitting vulnerable target generates you Essence, or has a chance to. So that's going to be very, very, very fun. We're going to go over the Paragon board. If you've done my Bone Skill build, it's exact. I didn't change anything pretty much, so I'm still going with Blood Drinker here, which now that we're generating a lot more Blood Orb, because in the previous Bone Spear build, we didn't use Corpse Explosion generate Blood Orb. Now we do, which means we're pretty much going to have 100%... we're pretty much going to have 100% Fortify here, which is another point that we could replace all of the Max Life gem with actually Sapphire for actually Fortify damage reduction. That's something that I want to test, but because the damage of Bone Spirit is based on my current life, I don't know if it's actually the number of life or the percentage of health that increases the damage. Oh, it's life percent. Okay, it says it on the text. Life percent. There you go. So we could swap the gem. We could swap the maximum life gem for actually Fortify damage reduction because we have really, really good uptime on Fortify now. Let's just keep going here. So our first is going to be Bone Graft pretty much. And then we're going to go for Sacrificial here. There's a lot of good other options that you can go for. There's like Vulnerable Gem and all that stuff. The Vulnerable Glyph as well. That is pretty good. It should be somewhere. I was leveling it earlier. The Exploit. Sorry, this one. But I'm going with the Sacrificial here because we're not running Minion, and we're getting 10% increased damage while not running Minion, and then it's increasing these nodes here, which are really, really good. Then we're going to move on to the next one, which is going to be Scent of Death, which is going to be damage reduction and damage increase with Corpse. We're going to go with Essence here, which is going to increase Bone Spear damage, which is nice. And then we're going to finish it all off with Flesh Eater. Because we're going to be consuming so much corpse, we're going to get that 40% increased damage, especially every time we blood miss, it's almost guaranteed to hit, which means that it's guaranteed to get a Bone Spirit with 40% increased damage. So, kind of insane, and we're going to finish it all off with Control, so every time we get that Corpse Tendril, everything that's CC just get obliterated. So that's going to be super, super fun. Again, the Control one can be changed as well. If you would like more damage reduction, if you would like more stuff, you can always change this one. It's kind of up to you. My Paragon board isn't complete. I'm only 96. But the build is going to be in the description down below if you want to see the entire Paragon board. So, enough talking. That's pretty much it. As you can see my skill, I don't have Bone Spirit in my bar because I'm never going to press it, okay? We're only going to be casting Bone Spear. We're going to be casting a lot of Tendril, a lot of Corpse Explosion, Bone Storm on CD when we need it, and then Reap when we need a Corpse, Blood Miss when we want to have some fun. So let's just go. Let's just go ahead and start clearing real quick. All right, so let's go with our first dungeon here. We changed dungeon. The other one had really, really low density. So it wasn't really giving the build full credit here. So we're going to try to have a little bit more density here coming up. And we're going to go clear some stuff up, show you how it works. You don't need to kill most of the stuff, but sometimes it can be fun a little bit. Sometimes I like to do to use my skill real quick, get it started, get some there we go. Get some blood orb rolling, you know? So when we get good density like this, you can, like, blood mist, consume a bunch of the corpse, and you're going to see Bone Spirit, like, just start rolling off and one-shotting monster, which is going to be really, really fun. Those are going to be some fun moments with this build. This key doesn't have, like, crazy density here either, but it is a little bit better than the next one. I was trying to do a 50 just to show, like, an increase from the previous build. We're going to get a quick corpse. There we go. We're running a little bit low here. We're going to blood miss. And there we go. We're going to kill everything. We're going to run a little bit further. It's kind of tempting sometimes to roll in, blood miss, and one-shot everything, but I got to be careful with that. It costs me some death sometimes. I really like going in there and just, you know. There we go. Get a corpse if we can. Get a tendril rolling. There we go. And then we're going to go in, blood miss, collect everything, and just let the Bone Spirit just one-shot the rest of it. Try to not use blood mist too much on offensive unless you're in a lower key that you know you don't have too much problem. Usually that should be your major defensive. So if you need to use it, you can use it, and then it allows you to have some free damage because you're collecting some free blood orb. Otherwise, try to avoid too much risking it. But I think that's the fun part of the gameplay for me for this one. I kind of like having a little bit of risk and reward situation going on. But this build has been pretty fun here. So every time I'm about to die, see, there we go. So I just press, okay, there we go. Another one went out. So I just pressed blood miss. It consumed corpse, consumed orbs, and then it just sent off the one shot, and everything got global for me, so I don't even have to worry about it, which is really, really fun. This dungeon is a lot of running around, not a lot of killing, but you can see that as long as you keep using your potion to keep your shield up and everything, you'll be fine. The flies are the most annoying thing in this game, honestly. There we go. We're going to click the gentleman here. You have a key for me? No, you don't. Okay, let's go to the next one. With 3 dodge, it gets pretty neat here. Trying to get some corpse here. There we go. Fantastic. It's important to remember to weave in your corpse explosion, right? Sometimes it's very easy to simply like spam Bone Spear and try to get damage, but if you don't weave in your corpse explosion in between, you're going to be running out of essences. You're not going to be consuming blood orb, so you're going to lose your fortify, and you're also just going to do reduced damage. Your goal is to keep your essence pool as high as possible here. I'm about to die here. We're going to press it, and then everything is going to get global for free, which is nice. So that's a little scenario where I like to, you know, it's a little risk and reward payoff. So I go in just to try to generate these corpse, but because I'm pretty squishy early on without the barrier, the fortify, and everything, I go low, I blood miss, and then everything just dies if there's enough corpse in the proximity. There we go. So this is a slay all environment, so this is going to be this is going to take a while, but it's pretty fun. You know, you just go in, get a pack, get some corpse explosion, and just hope for a couple blood orb here and there you go. 1 million, 1.8 million. So it doesn't crit that hard with the current build because we're not investing too much into Bone Spirit, right? We're not investing a lot. Oh, that was a lot of very, very aggressive monster here. So there you go. I paid the price for using Blood Mist as a DPS here. But yeah, pretty much, yeah, these little jumpers can do a lot of burst damage. So because I'm not sacrificing the damage of Bone Spear too much, which was my goal, I didn't want Bone Spear to feel completely useless in the build. I want it to be pretty strong. I want it to be still very, very strong. I just wanted Bone Spirit to help out a little bit. So here we're in a situation where we're running out of resources. You can just go around, explode some corpse here, walk around, and then you'll be fine. As soon as possible, try to get back to full resources because that's where most of your damage is going to be coming from. So in order to achieve that, one of the best way is to get into a lot of monster, tendril, and that's going to give you back full essence, right? So you're going to be good to go after that. Pick up your blood orb here. Try to spam tendril as much as possible. If you're struggling like me also with tendril on mouse and keyboard, it seems to never go off when you want it to. One of the best thing you can do is play with a controller, actually. I have really, really bad muscle memory, which makes controller a little bit tough for me. I always forget where my keybinds are, and I end up chugging up like 8 potion. But controller auto snaps corpse tendril, which makes it really, really fun to play. So if you've not tried that yet, Necromancer with controller is really, really neat. I don't know why I pressed Blood Mist here. That was an accident. There's no reason to press that. We're going to generate a corpse here. We're going to... Oh. We're going to do this. We're going to Bone Storm. Get everything packed together. There we go. We got a suppressor here. Those are not fun, but we should be good to go. There we go. A couple of Corpse Explosion. Couple of Bone Spirit taking the job done. Oh, I'm CC'd. Okay, there you go. This is why you normally don't want to do what I just did. There we go. Gonna go in there. Kill everything off. So, yeah, Bone Spirit is still packing a punch, but you get some nice free damage from... you get some really, really nice free damage from the Bone Spirit explosion, so that's really nice. But then on bosses, when you're not generating as much corpse, not as much blood orb, you're not relying on, you know, like hope, you know, so you still have some damage to pack a punch to kill the last boss if needed, and everything is going well. So Necromancer is a class that needs to keep killing. If you stop killing, you'll lose your barrier, you'll lose your fortify, and you'll become very, very, very squishy, and it's going to become problematic. That's why you want to keep pulling. You want to be kind of aggressive with your stuff. Sometimes it's going to cost me some death with the playstyle that I go for, but you just don't want to let your stuff run out, right? Because then you get to the next pack, and your armor is going to go down. See the armor going down right now, so I'm getting squishier by the second, right? And then I go to a new pack, I have no armor, and then I get one shot. Which is also one of the reasons you want to go with the Shadow Blighted Corpse Explosion. It's going to allow you to tick more damage per second, which is going to maintain this armor bonus a little bit higher here. We're going to Blood Mist here. Try to fish some of those Blood Orb. There we go. CC those monster real quick. Just to be sure we're safe. Their jump is brutal. If you don't have a barrier, if you don't have high armor state, you're absolutely going to get global. And et voila. Oh, no, really, we got some flies. Okay, we got some monster here.
I'm not ready yet.
There we go. We're good to go. And voila, key completed. So, not the best of key. We don't have a boss in here. We're still doing pretty much exactly the same amount of damage we were doing with the Bone Spear build. This was a key 50. So, from 46 to 50, there's quite a sizable increase in amount of health of the monster. And the damage that they're going to dish out. So, it's just really important to kind of play it safe if you can. And like I said, like it's all about momentum with Necromancer, so it's going to be about using your potion between packs to make sure that you go in with that barrier, because your armor is going to be low, because you haven't been hitting things for a while and your disobedience is falling down, which is the main reason that I really, really like to put points in here, because this is going to give you some lucky hit, but it's also going to do damage. So when you don't play a key like this one that has Slay All the Monster and you can leave packs behind, what's really nice is you can actually Corpse Explosion. It's going to leave the puddle. The monsters are going to stay in, and it's going to tick damage and give you armor as you're moving to the next pack. So depending on the key that you're doing, you're going to be more tanky. If there's a lot of density and a lot of monster that you don't need to kill and you can just run, you just keep exploding corpse as you go. So usually what I'll do is I'll throw a Bone Spear through a pack of mob. I'll detonate a couple corpse, and I'll just keep running. I'll get maybe an orb or two. I'll get some armor, and then I'm just going to fly to my objective and try to go kill it. So depending on the map, the build is going to go a little bit better or not. But this is it. This build, I absolutely love it. I love the combination. You're going to see this wasn't like the best map in the world to show this, but when you get high density, you can get a lot of monster grouped in. You Blood Mist, and you're almost... If you can get like 10 monster tendrils and you Blood Mist, you'll instantly global everybody. And then because you're consuming corpse, it's lowering the cooldown of Blood Mist, which gives you more defensive. But again, it's a risk-reward thing if you want to use Blood Mist for damage done. That's pretty much it for the build. Let me know if you have any question in the comment. I'll try to answer. I'll try to keep the link updated as well for if I end up modifying anything, if you guys want to keep up with that. So I'll try to keep the D4 build at the bottom in the description updated with the right Paragon and the gear and all that stuff. Feel free to play around. You can change some stuff around a little bit. But that's pretty much it for this build. Hope you enjoy it, and see you next time, my friend.